Andrew?
I'm doing all right. Couldn't really find other people interested in commentating, so I'm
That's
here.
okay. You know, Game of Thrones, there's money in the bank. Then there's also the SEG, so I'm not surprised that there's not a lot of people that want to do it. But hey, we're going to get right in here into the action. Go ahead and type up the sideboards here, my friend. I will go ahead and take over the commentary. We have Luke VanKleek on the left on Bant Neoform. Real spicy brew there. Versus Raymond Perkins on Sultai Delerium. Another really spicy brew. So this should be a really interesting one. Modern isn't really a format you get to see a whole lot of diversity in. But we have two decks here that are completely off meta, so I'm really happy to get this on camera round one. This is going to be an interesting matchup. So we're just going to see turn one. Luke played out a Cloudfin Raptor. This Raymond's just going to have a couple of tapped lands. Luke fetching up a Temple Garden at the end step, and we're going to see what he's got here. Another Cloudfin Raptor, and it can evolve him. He sure can with a Pelt Collector there. Going to bring these guys up to 1/2s. Probably going to try and get in the air here for just one. No Fatal Push or anything. It's a good sign, even though he might use it on this Pelt Collector here. Yep, and we're going to see that at the end step. Pelt Collector, going to untap. Let's see what we got. So Sultai Delerium. This is not a deck I've even seen one time, so I have no idea what could be going on here. So that's a really brutal play there from Raymond. Maelstrom Pulse going to take care of both of these Cloudfin Raptors. Leaves Luke with a pretty good solid follow-up here against spot removal spells in Voice of Resurgence. Raymond gonna take his time, play a land here. He's got a Tireless Tracker, so that's kind of interesting. Plays a Thoughtseize. So let's see what we got. We got a Pongify and then 2 lands, so out of gas. And a Liliana the Last Hope. So this really just looks like a Sultai control deck. I'm not quite sure where the Delerium comes in. Maybe it's Grimflare or something to that effect. But Liliana gonna tick up on this Voice Resurgence, make it a 0/1, neuter it for a while here. Luke ends up going to crack thin out the deck. Hopefully he can draw some spells off the top. He's really going to need a lot of help if he wants to get back in this game. We can see Raymond here with a Assassin's Trophy and a Tireless Tracker as leftovers. So Luke really going to need to knock the top of his deck and hope that it's kind to him. Let's see what we can find here on taps and draws. It was a spell. He was really quick with it though. Didn't really show us what it is. Plays a land. Passes the turn. I would assume it was maybe like a rapid hybridization. One of those like make a 3/3 kill a dude. Probably gonna target his own Voice of Resurgence here with it, unless Raymond plays something really needs to be killed. Let's see what we got here though. Tireless Tracker for Raymond. It's a pretty good thread there. Must kill. Gonna draw a lot of cards as you can see here. Gonna get himself a clue after a shotgun of this breeding pool. Looking for the clue token. Always the best part of the stream is when we can't find the correct token on time. I know all about that. Go watch my Friday Night Magic game against 4-color Planeswalkers. I was on Azorius Planeswalkers. That one was crazy. But back to Modern here. Liliana going to tick up on this Voice of Resurgence. End step, yep, that was a rapid hybridization as I thought it was. Going to turn this Voice of Resurgence into a 2/2 token, the Elemental, and then a 3/3 Frog. So we got a board here from Luke. He needs some really big follow-up, though. He needs something really potentially good this turn. End step gonna fetch again, keep thinning out this deck. Can't afford to draw any more lands. I'm not sure there's a lot of cards that even get him out of this spot at this point. Raymond is very far ahead. He still has this Assassin's Trophy in hand. He's got this clue that if he doesn't need to use the trophy, he can just crack for another card at the end step. And he's got this Planeswalker on 5, obviously, so really far ahead at this point. What is that? That is a Sidici's Familiar? I have no idea what that card is. It says Evolve, though, so it does things. I have no idea.
Alright, what's going on?
There's a Sidici's Familiar in play.
That's interesting.
There's that Assassin's Trophy.
I'm not quite sure what's going on here on Luke's side.
Liliana took the damage. Should Liliana have taken 2 there, though? That's a elemental token.
Assuming that token was attacking her, It might not have been.
I mean, it got knocked down, so I would assume it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to that.
I don't know. I wasn't. When you started talking, I kind of looked away and wasn't paying attention. That's exactly when it happened. I mean, it truly doesn't matter.
I mean, it's a 0-1 now, so.
Yeah. It's a 0-1. This game is essentially over. Twitch chat, is anybody there while we're waiting, going through the motions here? Do we got anybody in the chat?
Luke fetching up a breeding pool. I'm really wondering, like, it looks like this deck is just a bunch of small creatures that try to get in for damage. I'm wondering if he has some sort of, like, combo finish since he has Neoform in the title of his deck.
He's just playing a bunch of +1/+1 creatures. And, like, Reclamation Sage he's got from the new set, too. He wants to just make a bunch of counters. He's playing very fair. Hey, Dennis, and, I don't even know. Other dude, what up?
Yeah, I feel like...
And Dennis, don't ever share my memes without liking them. That makes you a little bitch. He knows what that means. He knows.
I feel like you might be playing a little too fair for Modern here.
You know what? That's exactly what I said to him earlier when I looked at this. I was like, wow, this is about as fair a Magic as you could possibly get it. Yeah, I know you did, Dennis.
I
did the same thing, so I'm also a little bitch.
What is that?
I have no... Oh my god, he's drawing cards off his deck.
I know what that card is, I just don't know
Oh,
the
it's
name.
Architects of Will.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is a pretty old deck. People used to play Architects of Will in like Death Shadow decks to enable Delerium because it's an artifact creature.
Yeah, I would assume that he's got like Traverse the Elven Wilds and all that type of grindy game stuff. Really loves to play against a deck like Bant Neoform.
Yeah, because this just half his deck is removal, and especially with Liliana online, like I'm sure a lot of Luke's creatures are X1s that just die to uptick, so...
Right, and then there's a ton of spot removal. He got 2 for 1 earlier on a Maelstrom Pulse.
He's going to take 5 here. I have no idea if these life totals are correct.
The big swing from this tireless tracker.
Probably...
Life totals are really irrelevant. It's really just a matter of time until Luke picks up his cards. His win percentage is exactly 0.
Yeah, he's got to like... Okay, he's
Neoform, what do we got?
He's getting a 2-drop and putting a counter on it, I guess.
Big game, potentially. I didn't see anything that gets you out of this spot here. Yeah, Scavenging Ooze. Okay.
Okay, I mean...
It doesn't get you out of this.
That can potentially get big enough to favorably block Tireless Tracker.
Yeah, but the Tireless Tracker is just going to draw too many cards.
Oh yeah, it will.
You're going to draw a removal spell.
But maybe it'll keep Luke alive for an extra turn.
Goyf off the top there. Let's see what we can find. Grim Flare.
Yeah, so he's just got a bunch of threats now, and Luke doesn't have any way to answer them, and he's too far in the back foot here.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, his hand is just straight gas. Uh-oh. That fade away, though.
Yeah, I don't like Windows 10. Windows 7 doesn't do that.
I really wanted to see what Luke's deck could do, but God, did he run into a bad matchup round 1.
Yeah, I feel like any mid-range deck is just a bad matchup, right?
Anything like that's essentially trying to, quote, Jundum out, you know what I mean, just grind you down with card advantage. Not what Luke wants to play against. Luke would love to play against something stupid like, I don't know, Tron or Storm that he could just blitz, right? That's something that's not going to interact with him very well.
Is this deck even that fast though? I'm not sure.
He showed me some really explosive draws.
Okay.
Like it has a very potential to just get out underneath anything Tron can do.
Okay.
Like that's what he was saying. He wants to prey upon these non-interactive decks in the format. This is a very interactive deck. That's all Raymond really wants to do is interact. I mean, saying that, we have a 7/7 ooze, but there is a lot of power and toughness on Raymond's side of the board at this point.
Yeah, he's got no real way to block all this.
No.
I think I can't tell what he just drew. It looks like Renegade Rallier promo, maybe?
He does play one in the main deck, yes. He was telling me that he was showing me a sick combo with that in the Neoform, sacking a 2-drop, going to get the thing back.
Let me go give them these back.
All right, gonna go get in the sideboards, and we're gonna go to game 2 here. Like I said, just a miserable matchup overall for him. Hopefully, game 2 we can get a little better here as we're going to boards. All right, so read it off to me.
We've got 1 Vapor Snag, 1 Big Thalia, 1 Scavenging Ooze, 2 Path to Exile. It should be fine. I tested the audio.
Okay.
I think I should be alright. I can turn it up if it's a problem.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, this is a new soundboard though, so I think we're fine.
Okay, for sure.
1 Aven Mind Sensor, 1 Eidolon, 2 Damping Sphere, 1 Selfless Spirit, 1 Evolutionary Leap, 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Knight of Autumn. I don't know, like, you probably want to bring in anything that helps you win a long game, because you're not winning quickly, I don't think.
I like the Selfless Spirit, the Evolutionary Leaps.
Path is fine.
Yeah, Path is good against, like, the bigger threats. And I like Scavenging Ooze as a way to control the graveyard, maybe potentially keep him off Delerium. Not a whole lot else, though. There's an argument for Vapor Snag, too, just to clear the way of a Tarmogoyf or something. If you just want a tempo play.
Yeah.
So, what do we got out of Raymond here? 1 Counter Squall, 1 Engineered Explosives, 2 Unmoored Ego, 3 Nile Spellbound, 2 Collective Brutality, 2 Abrupt Decay, 2 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Damping Spheres.
So Engineer Explosives is really good here because you just put it on 1 and blow up half of his creatures.
I like the Brutalities, the Abrupt Decays as well. Just spot removal.
Yeah, those are all fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think this matchup is probably like 75% Raymond favored.
Yeah.
Luke is just trying to play way too fair for
Luke doesn't seem to have a card advantage engine of any kind, and you generally need that to get on like ahead of these types of decks.
Right.
He's just kind of playing out his like fair creatures and trying to get in for 20 damage.
Yep. So Shaq's in a Cloudfin Raptor here. I mean, his hand looks pretty aggressive with the Deputy intentions to interact, so if he can do it, it's going to be with this hand. 8 is going to Shaq himself down to 16 and play a Voice of Resurgence. Alright, so this is a start.
It's decent.
Really, the only thing that matters is what Raymond does. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Raymond's cards are what determines this matchup.
Oh, he's playing that Nissa.
Yeah.
When I played Sultai Traverse for a little bit, with like Snapcaster mages and stuff. I played a 1 of that Nissa in it.
Okay.
It's really cool to like, because you can use it to like just put lands onto the board or flip Tarmogoyf onto the board or stuff like that. It feels really good.
She feels really good against like the control decks too. Just lets you just grind out games, grind all your bad cards to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Shocks and bolts into play, bolts himself into play. A lot of breeding pools.
What does he have here for 2 mana?
Collective Brutality.
Yeah, that'll probably clean up one of these creatures.
I'd imagine it cleans up the Voice. Maybe unless he can't deal with the Cloudfin Raptor getting any bigger. 2 modes.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I take out the Cloudfin Raptor here because Tarmogoyf is in his hands, and that just stonewalls the Voice forever. So
that's true. Got that Neoform too. That's big game.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Gonna strange you with limited All-Star from its time, Young Wolf. 1/1 with Undying, and a new card in Deputy at Attention. I'm a big fan of that one.
Yeah, although I don't know it's very good in this matchup. Generally, Deputy is pretty mediocre in matchups where your opponent has a lot of removal spells.
Yeah, it's probably just he has too many cards that don't do enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know,
it's probably like good enough here, but I want to be constructing my deck in a way that I board it out in this matchup.
That's true. I can get behind that. We're gonna see a Grim Flare here, tapped land. So we got Sorcery, Planeswalker, Artifact, Creature, Land.
He's definitely got Delirium.
Yep, he's got Super Delirium.
So
he's got 5 card types in his
this
yard.
thing gets to block pretty much everything for a while.
Oh, there's a 6 card type. This Tarmogoyf's going to be massive.
Mm-hmm.
End step rapid hybridization here. Also a fetch. Going to make himself 2 3/3s for 1 mana. That's pretty good. I mean, he loses voice resurgence, but it just gets bigger. Which in this matchup, I think, is how Luke wins. He just has to kill Raymond before Raymond can stabilize.
Yeah. Although, I was a bit surprised not to see, like, any sweepers out of Raymond's sideboard. Usually you'd expect, like, at least 1 Damnation, if not, like, Damnation plus, like, Languish or something like that.
I can see that.
Yeah,
so I'm going to get in a big attack here, actually, for 1, 2... Does he have it? No, he does not have Delerium. Just 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3... 8 damage.
Okay.
Alright, Raymond. The onus is on you.
So...
If he can answer this
he has to, he has to have a removal spell for it. If not, he probably loses here.
He doesn't have it, though. He has a Fatal Push, but he can't trigger Revolt.
Yeah, I don't really see how he's getting out of this then. Tarmogoyf is not good enough.
I mean, if that land enters untapped, which it does...
he has a fetch.
Yeah, he has a Collective Brutality that he can also cast.
Fine.
Oh, he didn't do it.
Well, he's gonna.
right, the Revolt.
He's gonna do it in combat and get.
That's gonna feel really bad.
If he swings into it, he has to think here. There are a lot of things that Raymond could have. He could have an Abrupt Decay in hand. He could have an Assassin's Trophy in hand. He could have a Fatal Push in hand, and all of those just make Luke basically lose on the spot if he swings all out here.
So my question would be, how much better does it get for Luke if he waits and gives Raymond more draw steps? The only thing I can think is that his win percentage just starts going down and down, right? So I think that
That's true.
If Luke doesn't kill him like this turn or next turn, he's just gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, the Goyf has to block this elemental. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6/6.
Well, I mean, it is right now, but
4. Fetch.
I mean, it is a bit strange that he's fetching now.
Before attackers, yeah.
Yeah, I'd usually want to wait for Luke to commit to an attack before doing that.
Well, you could think that you just want to put Luke on not attacking, maybe. Maybe you want to just scare him into not attacking.
He could have also just passed. We can't really tell what phase they're in, right? So that he might have just passed.
He
yeah,
did.
It looks
He
like
just
that's
passed.
what he did.
Okay. He decided he wasn't going to go for the attack. Maybe he thinks he can kill next this turn? He's not presenting lethal on board.
No, he's not. And Raymond has
2 spot removals.
Liliana the Last Hope in hand too, so he can
and a Collective Brutality that
start
he can
getting rid
also
of creatures.
cast, if he taps his mana correctly.
Yeah, he's got to...
he almost didn't do it. Yep, he caught himself.
Yeah, he's got to do that correctly. No, he's still not quite doing it correctly.
It took him a second.
There we go.
We'll forgive you on that one, Raymond. You're in a little bit of a spot.
So that's,
Kill this experiment one. Yeah, that's huge. Play a forest, Collective Brutality.
what are you targeting with it? Nothing?
Yeah, I guess. You're right. I mean, you could drain for 2.
I don't think he needs to yet. What does he have here? Yeah, he brought in that Thalia.
I don't know if I like that.
Well, I mean, it makes all of Raymond's lands enter tapped.
Ooh, and a Fatal Push off the top.
And it has first strike. So it's okay.
See, this is what I was talking about. How much better does it get for Luke, right? So, Raymond here has found this Fatal Push and still has this Collective Brutality. So, it's just Luke's win percentage is going down more and more each turn he waits.
Yeah.
You have to at least be attacking with this token, I think. No, it's only a 5/5 at this point. You had to attack with it when it was bigger.
Well, here's the problem. I mean, Luke didn't know this, but if he had attacked with the token, he would have lost it because of the...
Right, but you're now just losing. You know what I mean? Like, you're now just being ground out. You have to play, in my opinion, you have to play in the way that gives you the best chance to win.
Sure, yeah, and I guess him winning the game would have had to involve Raymond not having a removal spell there, so you might
That's
as well.
what I'm saying.
You might
Like,
as well
he
play
needed
it
a
that
little
way.
bit of help, but, like, waiting only makes it worse.
Yeah. He's just gonna plus on.
I think you just start pecking out these young wolves. No?
I mean, they'll just come back. There's really no
Yeah,
point.
but you can kill one with a collective brutality. I don't know, just get the permanents out of play.
I mean, they'll still come back.
Well, you can kill it when it comes back. Oh, that's a fatal push. That's right. I used the collective brutality that turn. I wasn't looking. Was not paying attention.
He can start swinging now.
I was going to say, I like a swing with the flare here. Maybe if you don't have a land in hand. I wonder does he have any creatures in his yard?
I don't think so. No, I mean, how would Luke have killed any of his creatures?
That's true.
He can swing in with the flare first, and then use the trigger to try to find creatures.
Yeah. Or he's just going to shrink the frog and try to get in. See, this play is kind of dangerous in my eyes, with these two young wolves out, because Luke has a couple of cards in his deck that put a +1/+1 counter on everything. Oh, he's just gonna jump it though.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just gonna take. I don't know what the point of doing that was. Maybe, I mean, I guess it was
2/2?
it was a pretty free block, I guess.
Yeah. You save a point of damage. You make it a 2/2. I mean, that is one of the ways that like Luke can steal a win here, right? Is cheekily find something off the top and hit Raymond really quick, really hard.
Right.
Ooh, Strangleroot Geist. Is that it? That's lethal.
I don't know why the young wolf stays back though. It's not lethal now. Right?
Well, the frog needed to come in too, because the frog has a power.
Yeah, the frog is a
This
1/2
attack's
right
bad.
now.
That attack's real bad. If you attack with everything, you just win. I mean, Raymond has a card in hand, sure, but like you're at 12. You know what I mean? And here's that engineered explosives.
Well, there would have been a swing for 2, 4,
Raymond's at 3.
5, 6.
And now he's
Yeah.
just gonna lose to this EE on 1. He played this game way too conservatively, in my opinion. I mean, even if not swinging on the turn with that token is correct, when you draw that Strangleroot Geist, you're definitely supposed to just go for it.
Yeah, I think so. Although, yeah, now he's just gonna be buried by Liliana Emblem too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just... You're staring at this Liliana on 6 at that point. You either have to go with the Liliana for a couple of damage to try and buy a few more turns, or you have to go for the kill. Because now this EE on 1 just loses you the game. You were never going to get a better opportunity. You know, Raymond had attacked, tapped one of his blockers. Let's see. He's got another Strangleroot Geist in hand, though.
I mean,
It lets him get in for another point of damage here with that frog. The big brain plays.
yeah. Yeah, it does.
And then you lose.
Yeah. Because, I mean...
Here's the other thing, okay, about playing these type of fair decks, is you sleeved up this deck for a reason, right? You came here to be very aggressive and play this fair game of Magic, yeah, and he realizes he lost. So, Modern's a format where it's just like, if you know they're playing cards like Engineered Explosive,